So what's a capital city? Ideally, that is the place where the government is located, but that can change for various reasons, including climate change, riots, wars, or perhaps a change in leadership. Today we're going to take a look at 7 countries that have changed their capital recently. Athens is the capital of Greece today, but it has switched several times. When the city-states were warring, Athens loaned sacred olive trees to an island suffering from famine, which were stolen by people from Aegina. This sparked a war that continued until someone bigger came along, the Persians. Aegina and Athens banded together to fight them and won. Athens eventually dominated Aegina by asking for more and more tribute. It would eventually be the first capital of the Greek state briefly in 1827 after the Greek Revolution. But it was moved to Nafplio in 1829 due to most government officials being based there. Today, Aegina is the second largest Greek city and has a rich pistachio farming industry. Indonesia is filled with some of the most diverse wildlife, rich landscapes, and unique cultures of the world, but its capital has some problems. On August 26, 2019, the president, Joko Widodo, announced the country would move its capital. This estimated cost of over $32 billion would cover homes and offices of 1.5 million civil servants. The government will pay 19% of that cost. There must be a good reason for this move if the price tag is so high. Jakarta is facing 3 problems right now. Pollution, with the lowest air quality in the world according to Air Visual, decreasing fresh water from the city's aquifers, and rising sea levels, which increase each year as the capital city slowly sinks. The chosen site in Borneo is more central and has room to expand the city, but this move has been protested because activists claim the construction will disturb the orangutans that live on the island, which are endangered. The government says they are leaving space for the orangutans in the planning process. In the 1960s, the native tribes in Nigeria began a civil war against the dominant tribe, the Yorubas. This was called the Biafran Wars, named for the Republic of Biafra, which tried to secede from Nigeria. Nearly 1 million people were killed in the war, which was concentrated in Lagos, the Nigerian capital. Lagos is the second largest city in Africa, with 14.8 million people, leading to high traffic volume and overcrowding. Despite the war being over, police stations and government buildings are still being burned and vandalized, leading the government to plan Abuja to be the new capital. Abuja opened in 1991 and has a much lower population of just over 1 million people. It's also militarily advantageous, being in the interior of the country and in a less ethnically diverse area. Kolkata has been heralded as the center of Indian culture and remains famous for art, food, literature, and soccer, or football for the rest of the world. It was once India's capital as well. During British rule of India, the government was concentrated in Kolkata until revolution struck. Gandhi inspired the British to divide India by its dominant religions, Islam in the east and Hinduism in the west. The government then selected a city between them for governing, New Delhi. New Delhi has been inhabited since 1400 BC and had walls built around the city. The British moved their government behind the walls for a measly $4 million and began renovations, finally finishing in 1931. They enjoyed their walled city until 1947, when the British handed over rule to the Indian people. One capital city took nearly 70 years to complete after congressional approval. Rio de Janeiro seems like it would be the Brazilian capital, and it was for a long time. When Rio was established by the Portuguese in 1565, it became the key to South America. In 1808, the Portuguese royal family relocated to Rio, establishing it as the only European capital to exist outside the continent. In 1825, Brazil gained independence and kept Rio as its capital. In 1891, an initiative to change the capital was approved due to overcrowding, a desire for increased defense from pirates, and to increase the quality of life of the interior population. This was put off until 1956, when the president aimed to complete the project. He erected the new capital, Brasilia, in 4 years. Rio was not pleased to lose their status and is one of the only cities without a monument or street named after the president. Myanmar, formerly Burma, is a Southeast Asian country that recently had a change of power, and with that, the government changed from Yangon to Naypyidaw in 2005. While Myanmar is officially a constitutional republic, it is not viewed that way, and many speculate the move was made to further empower the military and make transport more efficient by being more central. The most striking thing about Naypyidaw is how superficial it feels. It has an extremely low population density, with most government officials electing to not move from Yangon. Visitors often see the 20-lane highway in the city desolate. Other features of the ghost city include over 300 hotels, over 400 inns, shopping centers, a water park, a botanical and a zoological garden, 2 golf courses, museums, hospitals, and more. Most are completely empty of tourists and civilians. Cairo has been the capital of Egypt for over 1,000 years. That changed in 2015 when the Egypt Vision 2030 project was announced. And moving the capital is part of that plan. The new Administrative Capital, or NAC, will be 45 kilometers east of Cairo and over 700 square kilometers. It will also cost an estimated $40 billion. It is planned to contain a monorail, the tallest building in Africa, an electric train, an opera house, the world's largest park, high-rise apartments and offices, and more. A 2-bedroom apartment is valued at $50,000 in the new capital. Quite expensive for a country with an average GDP of $3,000. Funding for this project will come from the sales of these apartments and the current government buildings in Cairo. Some of these offices are on Tahrir Square, a coveted location, where rebellion was previously staged. The government stated the move will reduce overcrowding, increase economic development, and have a more central location. Seats of power change throughout a nation's history, some arising naturally, some selected, and some extensively planned. While there are many reasons for moving, it seems that being stuck in traffic is common amongst them. Thank you for watching.